With the growing roster of Dead by Daylight and promises of new scheduled content, it can be intimidating for new players to decide what to spend their hard-earned money on. I'm Chris from Genuine Chill, and I'm here to look at the DLC chapter packs of Dead by Daylight has to offer and let you know should you buy. Today we're looking at the licensed DLC, the Saw chapter, which covers the famous franchise Saw, which, I mean, it's in the title, you should... Anyways. This DLC comes with the standard 1 killer and 1 survivor, each with 3 unique perks. As always, I will be starting off with killer, the pig, but before we get into that, let me explain how I personally like to rate each killer and survivor. With killer, I rate them on 3 things: the effectiveness of the perks, the overall playstyle of the killer to give you an idea on how to play them, and finally, and most importantly, the killer's fun factor. So first off, the pig comes with 3 unique perks, the first being Hangman's Trick, and let me say, do you hate sabotaging? Do you hate seeing your precious hooks or traps destroyed? Do you really fucking hate Jake? Then this is the perk for you. Hangman's Trick renders sabotage completely useless, as hooks and traps will automatically repair themselves at an increased rate. Normally, hook respawns after, I believe, about 5 minutes, but with Hangman's Trick, they respawn after 30, 20, and finally 10 seconds, meaning the sabos are completely wasting their time. As for bear traps, they respawn after 3 minutes, but Hangman's Trick reduces that to 2 minutes instead. And while it's not as great as a hook, it's still nice to have if you're playing Trapper. Now, this perk is more of a quality of life perk, as it doesn't help you in the hunt or chases, but at least you'll know your hooks will always be there. And even better, Hangman also repairs after sacrifices, meaning you don't have to haul that big ass across the map after getting a few sacrifices within the same time of each other. Next off, we have Surveillance, which allows you to see regressing generators' auras after you regress them for about 16 seconds. Now, I won't lie to you, this is actually a pretty bad perk. On paper, it sounds like an excellent perk, but the fact that it only lasts 16 seconds makes it totally useless, since your job as a killer depends on your eyes looking around the map instead of one spot. In my opinion, this should give you a notification when the regress gen is being repaired, but as of the date of this video, I saw this perk is not worth it when there's so much better perks in this game as it is. Speaking of better perks, our final perk is Make Your Choice. This perk activates when you're a certain distance away from a hooked survivor. If the survivor is unhooked when you are 48, 40, and 32 meters away, it gives the exposed status on the rescuer for 60 seconds. Exposed means that the survivor will be instantly downed with 1 hit no matter how healthy they are, meaning it's basically a tier 3 Myers Strike or a Hillbilly Chainsaw connecting to them. This perk is extremely useful for playing against altruistic survivors, since they are repeatedly going in for the save, so you could swoop in and down the rescuer, meaning that they are 1 step closer to being hooked, while there is another injured survivor close by for you to down as well. This perk effectively punishes overly altruistic survivors while possibly making them completely reconsider saving altogether, making your job as a killer much easier. Although keep in mind, this perk only works if you don't camp at all during the game, or you'll never get the trigger. If you're not a baby back bitch that face camps, then you should have no problem at all, and this perk will do work for you. Now, going into the pig's playstyle, the pig is different as she actually has 2 special abilities, the first being the stealth crouch. While pressing the ability button, the pig will lower into a crouch position and loses her terror radius, but walks much slower than usual. With this, you can sneak up on unsuspecting survivors and charge your ambush attack, which will send the pig flying into a very long lunge and damaging the survivor if your hit connects. Be warned that when you do attack, the pig will give off a roar alerting the survivors and may cause them to start running. Next is her reverse bear trap, which the pig can put on a survivor when they are down. The trap will only activate when a generator is completed, so be warned, degression perks like Ruin might work against you if your management isn't right. Once a gen does go off, a timer starts and the survivor must find jigsaw boxes on the map to remove the trap. That actually rhymed, oh shit. Anyways, once at a jigsaw box, they must wait until the action is completed to activate the box, which gives them a set percentage if the trap will be removed from their head or not. But be warned again, that this percentage increases each time a box is completed without removal, eventually going to 100% when there is only 1 box left. Not only this, if the survivor is in a chase with you, the timer moves at an extremely slow rate, so you just can't camp them to ensure the trap goes off. If the survivor doesn't get the bear trap off in time, it is an instant kill, meaning you have 1 less survivor to worry about. Even better is the trap will also go off if the survivor leaves through the exit gate, denying them an escape, forcing them to go back and get the trap off or find the hatch, which they can safely escape from even if they have the trap on. However, the downside to this is the pig has a set amount of bear traps she can use starting at 4, and she cannot replenish them. Once a trap is gone, it is gone. However, there are add-ons that give you an extra trap, allowing you to carry at least up to 5. So that being said, how would I describe the pig's playstyle? Well, I personally believe the pig's role is time extension of the game. If the survivor has a bear trap on them, they eventually have to stop doing generators and go to the boxes to save themselves. meaning there are less people working on gens, which leads to the gens not popping off so frequently. Even then, if a survivor has a trap on their head, you know they'll be near jigsaw boxes, which you can see, so this gives a great chance to find them in the middle of the box so you can down them again. Even then, there is a denial aspect to the pig. If you save a bear trap for when the gates are open, you can down survivor and practically guarantee a kill since the bear trap will kill them if they leave. So even if their friends get them off the hook, you can use make your choice to down the rescuer and then go to a jigsaw box to find and down the survivor with the trap that was freed. Finally, the fun factor of the pig, to which I will tell you is pretty damn high. The pig is such a unique killer among the cast, it really shows through her playstyle. Personally, I haven't actually had an unfun game with the pig, even if I don't get any kills, because playing her and experimenting with her ambush and trap techniques is so damn fun. I know that opinion is subjective, but it's my personal experience with her, and if you're looking for something different, I say check her out. Now let's look into the survivor that the DLC offers, which is Detective Tapp from the first movie in the franchise. Unlike the killers, we don't have anything to rate the survivor on other than their unique perks, so before we get into that, I like to say, if you like the video, you should like the video, and maybe give us a follow on our Twitch channel, where we stream Dead by Daylight among a ton of other games. There, you can actually personally ask me questions on the DLCs, and I can answer you in real time. So going into his perks, first we have Tenacity, which allows David to crawl 30, 40, and 50% faster, and allows him to recover as he's crawling, so you no longer have to stop to regain health. While I believe this is a decent perk that could be made even better when paired up with Bill's Unbreakable perk, I still have to warn that it is a very situational perk since not all killers are going to leave you on the floor to crawl away. However, when they do, I did find it to increase my chances of escaping the killer as long as they didn't have Deerstalker on. Again, not much to say about this perk since it's very situational. Second, we have Detective's Hunch, which allows you to see the auras of generators, chests, and totems within a 32, 48, and 64 meter range for 5 seconds after completing a generator. Now, I will say this can be an excellent perk if you're dealing with some brutal hex totems, but the fact that you must complete a generator to see them lowers the use of the perk. In fact, if there are no hex totems to bother you, I actually would say this is another situational perk since it's easy enough to find generators on your own, and finding chests is so much better with Plunderer's Instinct. So sadly, this perk isn't all that useful unless you're dealing with totems, and even then, Ruin will give you a hard time doing gens to begin with, so I can't really vouch for this perk. Finally, we have Stakeout, which I actually feel is somewhat of an underrated perk. Stakeout gives you a token for every 15 seconds you are in the killer's terror radius, but not in a chase, giving you a maximum of 2, 3, and 4 tokens. These tokens will turn a good skill check into a great skill check as long as you hit the skill check event in time. What's great about this is not only does this help you with gen progression, it also counters the effects of Ruin as it requires great skill checks to not degress the gen. And if you manage to hit the great skill check area anyways, then you don't lose a token. In fact, if you pair this up with the perk This Is Not Happening, which increases the size of great skill check area, it's entirely possible to do gens by hitting all great skill checks only. I wouldn't say it's an amazing perk, but I do think with the right skill and perk set, it could be very effective. Normally, I end the video with pros and cons of a pack, but I feel like giving a more in-depth explanation of everything is better than that, so instead, I'll end the video with some questions. Do you want a unique and fun killer experience? Then I feel like you'll enjoy the solid DLC. Are you looking for great perks to add to your perk build? Then I can't really say this pack is worth buying, but instead recommend getting Stakeout and Make Your Choice as their own in the Shrine. Fan of the Saw series? Then yeah, this pack is for you. It really captures the feel and grit of the Saw series, and I feel like fans of the series will greatly enjoy this pack. And lastly, do you like bacon? If so, Amanda Young is one fine ass piece of bacon. That seemed kind of like sleazy, didn't it? I'm sorry. Amanda's a good lady and I respect her. Anyways, I'm Chris from Genuine Chill, and I hope this video helped you with your choice on buying the Saw pack or not. So I'm not exactly sure what DLC I'll cover next, so if you have a pack you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching.